What is going on, boys and girls of YouTube? This is, I'm going to say, a more fun video to me. There was another Reddit post, and I'm going to open this with, I don't know what I could have possibly done to make hundreds, maybe not hundreds, maybe 100 over the years. I don't know. Somewhere around 100 people make like hate posts on Reddit about me. I don't know what can make like people hate me to the point where they think about me in their regular lives, let alone go out of their way and make a post about it, because that's just it's a crazy thought. But someone made a Reddit post, and I wasn't planning on covering it at first. Genuinely, this has been up for a couple days. I thought it was a really dumb post and didn't warrant a response, and honestly the drama posts are getting old. But I'm actually covering this for a different reason than I normally do. Normally I think it's fun to roast and just make content out of it. It's just funny. This is the Reddit is starting to shift, and I don't know if that's scary or not, and I'll explain it after we go through the post. So this was 5 days ago from It's the Frankster. Now, I want to point this out. I'm pretty sure this guy commented on a YouTube post on one of my YouTube videos about skins being easy to make, and I kind of responded and roasted him a little bit, and then I think he deleted the YouTube post and then went and made a Reddit post. Not really sure why, but his name looked really familiar, and there was somebody basically saying the same thing he says in this post, and I went to look for the post on my YouTube videos and it was gone. Anyway, what is Weekend talking about? Dude, been watching the videos for Titan Talk and Weekend. If you haven't seen, they're two of my most popular videos in the last 2 weeks. It's just talking about what's going on with High Res and Smite and what I think, and then High Res responded to it, and I reacted to them responding. I gotta say, I feel 100% like Weekend is just pulling stuff out of his ass. Now, before we get deeper, pretty much every content creator that has watched my videos on this topic has agreed. Maybe not fully, maybe not 100% agree, but they agreed with almost everything. Like very, very much the majority. Just so we're understanding that this isn't just a me thing here. Sure, like he brings a great perspective to the actual player and content side of the game to the table, but he is just making random claims based on what seems to be nothing. Once again, like I said, everyone agreed with the original videos. Like bringing up one thing he mentioned, how he says it can't be that hard to just make a new color for a skin and drop it. Now, I want to stop here and go down because there are an insane amount of posts that are talking from developers saying in UE5, recoloring a skin is very easy. Like there are a ton. There's one massive paragraph, which is a guy who's built games saying how easy it is. Yeah, here's one talking about how easy it is. There's some that actually go into detail about what you do for the code. So that's already been debunked, right? How does he know that? What basis or experience does he have? Well, actually in my video, I say this is what I think they should do because I'm assuming it should be easy because basic coding tells me that they don't have to actually change any skin codes. They just have to change the color code for it. And then everyone else in the comments basically says that. I was assuming that's how it worked. And then they said, yes, he's right. That's how it works. At another point, he just says, I don't process how much development they are still doing. So once again, taken out of context for some reason, but at the same time, my question is, what is the development that is so difficult now? So he didn't understand that when I brought this up, I'm talking about the map gameplay development. I'm not talking about adding characters and skins and gods and items. I'm talking about what are they developing within the map day to day? What are they developing within the balance within day to day? Because it's kind of stopped, right? Like they aren't doing regular XP changes. They aren't moving parts of the map around. That is stopped on a 2-week patch basis. That's why I mentioned this. Okay, I'm not like trying to shit on High Res. They've done it. I opened with talking about how good of a job they've done saving the game in the past 9-10 months. I just wanted to keep getting better. There's still so much stuff this game needs work on, and he pretty much just said he doesn't understand what exactly is so difficult. No, I didn't say what is so difficult in general. I'm saying what are they working on that is taking so much of their time on the regular gameplay map side of the game. Because I genuinely don't know what they're developing there, because they said they're not doing a new map in January. So what are they working on? Like, yeah, probably because you are not a game developer. So I also want to note that later on in the post, if you read through them, he goes on to say that he's never developed anything. He went to school for game development and now he teaches it. And he's done side projects. He's not a game developer. He's never developed anything. So someone responded to that and said, you sound like Pirate Software. You sound like a second Pirate Software, which this does give off Pirate Software vibes where he's kind of just, he's mad that I thought this about development and he wants to seem important even though he's not a game developer. Super weird concept. And he says, I am a game developer. He's not. He elaborated that he's not. But even then, I'm not going to. Someone literally said, what have you worked on? He's worked on nothing. No video games. Really, the only person you could trust on timelines and how long it takes to be done is Hi-Rez. Sure, you can or can't trust them. We can trust them or we can't. Who knows what's going on here? I don't know. Even the esports stuff where he wants something big for esports when they don't even got a fully functional game yet. Like Mercury is still bugged. Smite 1 had so many consistent bugs that almost every week of SPL, a god was not allowed to be played because it had a game-breaking bug or an item. That was a standard thing over the whole 10 years of Smite esports. Just so you know. That investment will be better going into finishing the game. Like, dude, in recent years, how have putting esports in an unfinished game ever worked out, dude? There was a form of esports in early Smite 1 before the SPL, which I thought was weird. So, I'm trying to find the post. It's Caps Lock, who's an employee at Hi-Rez. He goes on to say that there wasn't an esport. Here, I've heard people say Smite had an esport scene in beta and a decent chunk, but I don't mean for this to be an official response, but I'm officially not sure what people are remembering. The only esports that exist were tournaments for gems. They were a couple events in 2013. So he is correct that there was no big tournaments, but there was weekly tournaments that eventually led into who got invited in the SPL into the fucking qualifying lands and who had just an upper leg. And if I remember correctly, the weekly tournaments were like $500 to the first place team. I specifically remember getting every player getting $100 if they won, which is not like back then that was a ton of money. Nowadays it isn't. But also saying Smite 1 beginning didn't have an esport, Smite 2 doesn't need it is crazy because Smite 1 was not a sequel to a game that had an esport. It'd be like if League made a League of Legends 2 and just didn't have esports. It would be literally would make people's minds explode. It's the same. It's obviously on the same level, same concept. All right, same concept. So the reason I was interested in this post was outside of debunking this guy being a troll. On the esports note, there's another post that came up yesterday. Smite comp is not worth the investment right now. So if you talk about here, if you go watch my video, I say I think they need a big tournament rather than these small tournaments that no one cares about. They need to stop giving money to monthly things and just save it all up for a 6-month or 12-month tournament. This post comes up and basically shows that nobody's watching their esports, right? And they're giving $120K a year to this company to run these esports. 7K a month goes to prizing, 3K goes to the employees. The top comment, I would argue that they should do a few big tournaments rather than these monthly. Better for marketing IMO. This is exactly what I said in my video and got crucified on this Reddit for. And then this guy said, a certain streamer, me, suggested that last week and got mocked here for not knowing what he was talking about. And just a week later, people here give the same opinion. This breaks down Reddit in the craziest way. Do you understand the mental gymnastics you have to go through to hate me as a person that you do not know in the slightest so much that my opinion can't be right because I said it, but if literally days later someone else says it, it's completely right, it gets 200 upvotes. And then the next comment, that's because people don't know how business works and they just don't like weekend, that is why it gets shit on. I understand it, I'm not dumb. This guy said they hate the opinion of somebody who's passionate about the game and wants it to succeed, which is literally why I make these videos. If I wasn't, I'm gonna be real with you. I believe that if I never made the original, like people called it dooming videos, but it was just criticizing videos, I don't think the game ever would have been saved. I genuinely don't. If you look back to when I was making these like monthly videos on the state of the game and really like criticizing and harping on the things I didn't like and what I think would be decent things for them to work on, I don't think in January they have the realization that they need to save the game. And I think this game's dead right now. I genuinely do. So in my mind, I'm hoping that making these videos every once in a while keeps the game on a good track and lets them know from the higher end of players. I have people coming in my stream that just can't even play ranked anymore because there's nobody. I want them to know that. I want Hi-Rez to know that. And no, I'm not going to type this up over and over again. I'm going to make a video. I'm going to make money on it. And then since Hi-Rez doesn't pay me shit, and then they can watch the video and make me more money and learn, right? Like that makes sense to me. Might be a little messed up in some people's minds, but that's how my mind works. I should get paid to do that, those stuff or those things. Anyway, just thought that was interesting breakdown. But if you read through these comments, the Reddit is shifting. I actually wasn't going to make a video. I really wasn't. That's why this is days later. And I'm doing this off stream. Usually I do this stuff on stream. But if you read through, say this is whether or not some of his takes are faded, like the skins being easy to create, his main point of the video is very valid, which 100%. This guy goes on to say that making those skins is easy. A couple other people go on to say the same thing. Kilgun, he's talking about Kilgun doing ads. Weekend has said he wanted bare bones with 4 casters, which is literally what I think they should have done. This guy thinks that's a lot of work. So I run a sub league that gets higher viewers than Prime. I cast it myself. I do the camera work myself, and I get praised for it. So there's no way 2 cameramen and 4 casters can't. He also went on to say that they used like 4 casters, 2 cameramen, bare bones, something like that, is 1 short of what they had in Smite 1. In Smite 1, they had like 10 plus casters. They also had people that were designated to do like hosting. They had like 15 people working the back end and production. They had employees working the building. Like this is ignorant as fuck to say that they had 5 casters. That is not what they had. That is troll as shit. So that's just wrong, just completely incorrect. This guy, I don't know. Yeah, he's saying if they developed the skins correctly, then they would be easy to do color variants. He's saying they should have done it correctly, but he doesn't know them because he doesn't work there, which is accurate. I'd agree with that. This guy says royal colors are the easiest. There's so many posts of this. I wish I could find this might be it. I mean, as much as I want to side with you on this, so this guy hates me so much. He doesn't know this person. This person could be a murderer, doesn't know, but he wants to side with him because gotta be worse than Weekend, the guy who says you're bad at video games. Their first point is like saying a student doesn't know how to change a color in PowerPoint. Sure, a reskin will take longer because you need to come up with a design, but a recolor, let's be serious for a moment. See, he's going on to basically break down recolors are easy, how they should be doing it. This guy, same thing. Recolors are easy. I don't know if all these guys are developers or even if they're lying about it, but there are people that are like, I worked on this game, and this is how easy it should be. This is complaining about something else. We could get his mistakes, but honestly, he's like one of 4 YouTubers pulling views to the game. Mass hasn't even made, he hasn't posted a video on his second channel for Smite in like a month. So really, there aren't that many people even making content on this game. I mean, yes, we already know this. He's an arrogant asshole. He's right at the beginning of, okay, so this is, I know I've roasted this guy. I know his name, so that's why he's posting this. But even this guy, actually, I don't even, oh, sorry. This guy is a streamer. That's why he's promoting his stream. I forgot it's that guy. Oh my gosh. This guy goes on to say he's correct on a lot of takes, even if you don't like him. I love this take. I've resonated, I think that's the right word, with this take for so long that it still boggles my mind. I think and know, because I've proven it, that I'm very good at Smite. I am very good at other games, but Smite I've like fully proven, right? Like I played at the highest level for a while, okay? Proven it. So my ego and arrogance is all centered around me being good at the game that I've proven I'm good at. So I don't think the ego or arrogance are there. I know I'm good at those games. I've proven it to myself, to other people. I know it, right? I'm not sitting here teaching you how to play Apex. I'm not sitting here teaching you how to play Counter-Strike. I could probably go learn those games and play decently high, but I'm not a 10-year pro with 30,000 hours. There is no reason that someone like me shouldn't be able to speak on things the way I do. If any high caliber sports player, so any NBA player, NFL player, whatever, were to go and talk to people that weren't pro and say, this is how you do it, you would listen. But for some reason, because of the internet, you've created a weird parasocial relationship with me that you know anything about me outside of my life, which has always been weird to me because everyone I've ever interacted with in real life that also, you know, is in sync with gaming, like, you know, my teammates, coaches, owners, random employees, whatever, I've never, ever had any of them come out and say I was these things, which at some point I figured as you grew older, because all these people in this Discord are probably 25 to 55. None of them are little kids. You'd think you would learn that, man. Like, really, if you're out in the world, you would learn this 100%. I don't know. This guy says the guy commenting must be a junior dev because how easy it is must make skins. This is Weekend does not give a fuck about Smite. He has not given a fuck for years. Brother, I need you to process that I get 10,000 views on a YouTube video a day, and my stream right now is getting 400 to 600 views concurrent. I have proven I can go play other games and get more views than this. In Throne and Liberty, I made 3 videos, and all the videos were getting 50 to 60,000 views. I just don't love that game. On stream, I've always been able to get 400-ish viewers depending on the game, and if the game has slight crossover with Smite, or is just a game that Smite players resonate with, I'm getting 6, 7, 8, 900 viewers. If I really didn't like this game, I would go build somewhere else where I could grow much bigger than this cap of Smite. Genuinely, I wish at some points that I, especially right now and this time period we're in, that I loved another game to go grind. I wish I did, because I wouldn't have to deal with the bad side of the Smite community. I wouldn't have to deal with high res and their mistakes that they made, and I'd have a much higher ceiling to go for. But for some reason, my brain likes this stupid game. This video is just a desperate and pathetic attempt to get Hi-Rez to invest more on Twitch content. Bro, drops are not an investment. Every game does it. It takes 5 seconds. Sorry. It's not. This is not a big time sink. It doesn't cost them money. This guy's roasting the guy for defending Hi-Rez. High Weekend, W Advertising. This guy's posted a bunch. So we're not going to read his. Weekend is a great player, and I would say that he has earned respect. There is absolutely no doubt about that, but take everything he says with a grain of salt. I have a friend that constantly plays his trash tier gods with unbelievable skill, and I often don't jive with all of his top role picks. Brother, if you aren't playing at 5K plus SR right now, you don't know the bare minimum of this game. Smite 2 currently is so easy to break into the 4.5 to 5K mark that if you are decent at the game, that's where you should be hitting. If you're not, your opinion on gods and builds and this and that just don't matter. You aren't as good as you think you are, unfortunately. And I know this is the thing that pisses people off. Me saying that to people pisses them off. But bro, you're not good. If I go play League of Legends and I can't get to the highest top 1,000, top 2,000 players in my region or whatever, top 500 players in my region, I'm not fucking good. And I shouldn't be talking about someone who is good breaking the game down for me. I should acknowledge their knowledge and their opinion and use it if I want to, or if I want to play for fun, then I'm just not going to use it. But fun usually means you're getting wrecked and you don't want to get better. Just throwing it out there. Remind understands my opinion about esports. I mean, I think a lot of people would watch the bigger tournaments and nobody watches Prime. I think that's confirmed in here. People still saying should have been Smite 1. Bro, it's over. Stop living in this weird world where you think Smite 2 can go back on pause and we can go back to Smite 1. Smite 1's dead. Let it go. Honestly, I'd be surprised if it lasts another full year. Like the servers. Game trash, move on. This guy called him a clown. These streamers of Weekend Style are just chatterboxes farming content. Bro, I gave insanely valid points. None of these, like, this person didn't watch my video at all and just is talking about being chatterbox. The irony here is crazy. You know, these loser YouTubers need their money. They're also wishy-washy. 1 week the game is perfect, the next it's dying because they're annoyed about something. Just don't give him any attention. He's annoying, bro. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Thankfully someone has still said it. He was just crying for not having handouts by Hi-Rez. Bro, I've never gotten anything from Hi-Rez. They give everyone the same amount of skins and they're trash skins and people just give them away on Twitter. I don't get paid by them. I provide my own gems for my sub league. Like, Hi-Rez does so little for me, it's not even funny. Like, honestly, I have people and games that aren't even out yet that do more for me on a regular basis than Hi-Rez did in 12 years. And I'm not exaggerating. It's absolutely crazy. This guy didn't read the post. He just doesn't like me. No one can ever give like real reasons, which would be useful. Like if someone was like this, he said this exact quote and I didn't like it because of this. It would be nice to know at least like what pisses people off. Maybe I use it more. I don't know, but it would be interesting. Yeah, this is weird. People want like bonus points, like pick me points by being like, I would never do this. I'm better. like you do realize for how much you all talk about my ego and stuff. This is you being super egotistical. You just don't process it for whatever reason. As a game dev, you should know some things if you work with stuff like RPG Maker, other things. Hi-Rez also, yeah, saying, well, this guy's saying they're not remaking skins from scratch. Maybe not technically from complete scratch, but they are rebuilding the skins from the ground up. We need new content creators, brother. I would say my content has grown and I've gotten to be a much better entertainer over 12 years. But if someone is a better creator than me in this space, they would have taken the top spot. Like this isn't a massive, like you're drowned out in the bottom and nobody can see your content ever. It's easily, like you can easily get your content seen by people. People just don't like boring ass Smite content because nobody does anything unique anymore. Nobody. We lost Smithy Moo. Double J really isn't doing the content he used to, mainly because people stopped watching it. And outside of that, it's standard gameplay and then me doing whatever content I can come up with that I think would be interesting, which is still not even double J level, but decent. Like I'm doing Elo Hell. I mean, Elo Hell was a big series, but like it gets old eventually. There's only so much that can be done. I get it, but acting like there's somebody's gonna come out of the woodworks and be a great content creator in this game is insane. Watching Final K's reaction to this helps bring clarity to the situation, both sides. Yeah, Final K basically agreed with a lot, but then also explain things. I can't believe Wicked is the people's champs right now. I can't stand the guy. I'm just annoyed by him. In one, then gave him a chance in two and had a bad experience with his sub league. But he even agrees with my video. That's insane. Yeah, I just thought it was interesting. I did not expect ever for Reddit to be switching to my side. While it's not fully on my side, there's still some very low IQ people. Yeah, this is a good one. I feel like Weekend has said some controversial things in the past, but suggesting a recolor's minimal lift isn't that crazy to me? Yeah, wild. This guy calls the guy out for not knowing anything about UE5. Yo, close the sub. Never mind 13 years of playing Smite. I would have thought the sub would defend Weekend. That's so true, bro. That's what I was thinking. You should have just kept this opinion to yourself. Hyra's the one you can't trust. As a matter of fact, I trust Weekend. Yeah, well, I would hope so, considering I'm not a lying sack of shit. I'm the exact opposite. I'm going to tell you what you don't want to hear. Be real. Stop glazing high-res. Yeah, so I thought that was like, you know, it's nice to see some real brain power finally working on Reddit's end. It's been 13 years of not a lot of it. So good to see you guys coming out of the woodwork. Some claps for you. Those of you who still think you know me as a person, you're insane. Now, look, I get if you're basing some consistent behavior. You're like, I don't like this person because of this consistent behavior. I get it. Perfectly fine. But you can't make that behavior up. You need to witness the behavior. You can't pretend someone does something just because you want to. Please realize that as a human. It is insanely parasocial to pretend you know somebody, have no instances or interactions or statistical data to prove this reason that you don't like somebody. Please, for the love of God. Even if it's not for me, you can keep hating me. For the next person, please, for the love of God, don't do that. It's weird. It's internet weird. And then if you carry it over into real life, if you go around thinking about me enough to make Reddit posts, that is scary weird. That is, you spend too much time on the internet, you might need some therapy weird. Okay? Just throw it out there.